Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we have our very first look at the Tier 4 Russian destroyer Podvoisky. So let's look at our commander. First of all, we have Vladimir Trubetskoy, we have Eric Bay and Jerzy Swirsky as our commander inspirations. We are running Observant Rage, Look at Me Now, Twist and Track, Smoke on the Water, and Unstoppable. Now, for the record, this is literally the same build that I use for my Kaba, so that's what I'm going to be going with for this entire line. Just to get you, to let you guys know ahead of time. We already did that. Let's look at our actual loadout. We are running Aiming Systems Mod 1. We are fully upgraded. We are running the Community Contributor Flag and Camo. We have 12,700 hit points. We have 5 130mm guns that reload in 7.5 seconds with our current build. 180 degree turn time is 16.8 seconds. HE shell damage is 1900 with an 8% chance to set fire. APs 2500. Torpedoes, basically you don't have any. Just get used to it. 533mm triple launchers, you have 2 of them. 70-second reload time. 14,400 maximum damage, 1.3 kilometer detectability, and a 4 kilometer maximum range. So yeah, like I said, you don't have any torpedoes. 70 knot torp speed as well. Maneuverability, 42 knot top speed, which is nice. Turning circle of 700 meters, also not bad. Rudder shift time, 3.2 seconds, not bad at all. Concealment. We've got it down to 5.3 kilometers, which makes us a very nasty anti-destroyer destroyer. 3.1 by air, 2 is always guaranteed, and a 2.5 kilometer smoke firing penalty. Armor, it's a destroyer. It doesn't really have any armor. 10 millimeters pretty much everywhere. So yeah, don't get shot. Or if you do get shot, just go flat broadside so that they go straight through you. Unless, of course, it's HE, in which case you're in trouble anyway. Overview. Sure shot. Shells with a good ballistic trajectory maintain velocity, making aiming easier. Short range, low torpedo range. Podvoisky, one of the draft designs for the first destroyer flotilla leaders in USSR. Unlike destroyers built during the pre-revolutionary period, this ship had greater dimensions, a higher speed, and more powerful artillery. Apart from that, she carried torpedoes of a larger caliber. Year of design was 1929. She was never built. And, yeah, it's not a bad-looking destroyer. And honestly, it's not a bad destroyer either. It's just a gunboat, so get used to using the guns. Know when to use AP, know when to use HE, and you will be fine. This thing is actually pretty nasty. And I'm assuming that's the way the entire line's going to be, so, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. So, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we're going to be on Haven, and I've got a good one for you guys. I'm not going to lie. This one took me like 4 or 5 matches to finally get the one that I wanted to showcase to you guys, because I play a certain way in these Russian destroyers that I don't play in most destroyers, and I tend to play with a little bit of reckless abandon in these things. So, get ready. It's going to be exciting. Everybody on the enemy team is going to throw themselves at us, I'm fairly confident. So, hopefully you guys are ready for this. It's going to be a doozy. Now, these are gunboats, plain and simple. If you're not wanting to play a gunboat, just give up on the Russian line. It's not for you, okay? The Fletcher and the entire American line of gunboat destroyer makes this line up to this point look silly. Like, the Farragut is better than this in literally every way. And the, oh, what do you call it? What was the one before that? Clemson. Clemson and Farragut are much better than the Russian Tier 3 and 4. However, where you start to run into the Russian line starting to get better is at the Tier 5, which is the Nevny. So get ready for that. I've got some videos for that coming up tomorrow, actually. Because I'm going to try to run straight through these, guys. I know you're probably not going to enjoy it as much as you normally do. I apologize. I do try to make these all entertaining, but I'm trying to knock out the Russian lines, finish them out. These are the last 2 tech trees that I have to do. Plain and simple. It's the last 2 lines that I had to do. I've already done the cruisers. Now I got to finish these guys. Now, obviously, we've got a T-22 right off the bow, or off our port side. So we're going to go ahead and start shooting him. And we're going to throw these torpedoes out there nice and early so that we can start, or keep shooting these guys. Now, it's a 2v1. I like my odds in this gunfight. I'm not going to lie. I have pretty good aim. These guys seem to be struggling. And we've already got the one T-22 down over half his health. And the other T-22 is running straight into those torpedoes that we already put out there, and down he goes. So you gotta love getting that starting off. Now, I've already paid attention to the fact there's a Phoenix over here, broadside on. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna load the armor piercing. We're at 5 kilometers. This guy's about to have a real bad time. Now, the first salvo was absolutely abysmal. And then you can see I was kind of reversing a little bit too much. I was a little hesitant here because I'm expecting people to be better than they are. They're just not. This is low tiers, so they're just going to sit here broadside to me, and I'm going to farm them for damage as we get another Citadel. Already up to 3 Citadels in this match, and plenty more to come, I promise. But this time, much better salvo. 4 Citadels, bringing us up to 7 total. And that's when the Yabari comes out, and he's like, well, anything he can do, I can do better. No, you can't, sunshine. You're just going to go back to port. Now, we already Citadel him once, and watch this. We're going to knock out his engine on this one and Citadel him 2 more times. You can see from the smokestack his engine's been knocked out, and he's going to come to a rest pretty soon. Now, that shot there was pretty abysmal. Again, trying to account for the fact that, you know, he's slowing down. I aimed a little too far forward. But we get a better shot that time, another Citadel, and this one over top of the island before he disappears. He is slightly angled out now, but it doesn't matter. He's down 2. So we managed to take him out. And that's when I look over and we've got this Orion pushing up on us. He is definitely inside torpedo range. So we're going to get ready to try to hit him. Now, initially I was going to reverse, but then I seen him cut over towards the right. And so I was like, okay, well, we're going to have to go straight across the front of this island. Now, my battleship was not paying attention to the fact there was a destroyer spotted, and the Isokazi gets a depth strike on him, which he should have. I mean, honestly, it is pretty straightforward and simple. The guy was spotted. You should have avoided him, but you didn't. Now, we do get some shots, our torpedoes away on the Orion, and I did not give the Orion enough credit for its turning ability. You can see, even with these faster torpedoes at basically breakneck range, like this is point blank, we managed to actually miss them with all but 1 torpedo, which is definitely not what you call preferable. However, we've got the AP loaded, and you can see the AP is actually pretty good in this. Even battleships, if they give you a broadside, you load that AP, you're going to have a good time. You can do some significant amounts of damage to battleships. However, Isokazi is going to try to get away. He looks like he's turning out. We get the shot off. He's on fire. He's about to go. He's about to put the fire out, and he gets away for now. Now, obviously, we look on the map. We're looking for our teammates. We've got a destroyer to my right coming around the island from sea. I don't want to leave this cap, and oh my God, dancing between the raindrops, baby. Those rounds came in from nowhere. I did not see that coming and somehow managed to avoid every last one of them like I was a professional. Totally unexpected, but I'll take it. Now, we're looking at him on twist and track. We can see he's headed back towards his team. So I'm going to try to cut him off. Now, obviously, he launched his torpedoes. Not that big a deal. There was no chance he was going to hit me with those if I turned to intercept him. And you can see we're getting pretty close to intercepting him. He's just about to come out from behind the island. Sure enough, there he is. Hello, how you doing, buddy? And he does get a shot off. To his credit, he did actually get the shots off. He did significant damage, but at the end of the day, he's dead. I'm not. And now we get to do the part of the game where we get to have a little bit of fun. And that is to just sit here and rain fire upon this Koenig. He's sat out here in the open for this entire time, and now it's his turn to die. And this is what drives me nuts. I know this is low tier, okay, but it happens at high tier too. But this drives me nuts. You sit out there for the entire game, and then all you're doing is waiting to die. You're literally waiting to die. By not using that fantastic armor of the Koenig. The Koenig is a fantastic ship for its tier. I don't even mind taking the Koenig up against tier 5s, alright? But if you're going to sit in the open and not take any damage for your team, not help your team, You're relying on accuracy at range in a German battleship, which we don't need to talk about, right? But it's not going to go well for you. And all that's going to happen is you're just waiting to die at this point. You're sitting here waiting for your turn. We've walked through your entire team while you sat behind this island, and now it is your turn to die. Now, we get a fire on him finally, but he's going to go ahead and extinguish that because every new player does, right? Some older players do too. But, yeah, he definitely extinguishes the fire a little prematurely. But to his credit, I mean, it ends up working out for him because I don't get a fire again in this match. I literally never get another fire. And so I'm going to go ahead and start switching. When he goes full broadside here in a moment, I'm going to switch to the AP and see if we can't do some damage with the AP. You can see I'm still shooting the HE at him while he's bow tanking, and we're getting a little bit of damage, but we're not getting any fires. And of course, somebody else gets the double fire on the back of his ship, and so he's burning pretty significantly, and that's a perma fire for them. So nice for them, but terrible for me. And now we've got the armor piercing loaded. He's given us a pretty juicy broadside. He's slightly angled, but as long as we aim high and we hit the upper plating, we should be able to do some damage. And if we can hit the bow, it'll be even better. But not aiming very properly to hit the bow at this point. Should be aiming a lot further forward to try to hit the bow plating instead of the upper armor. But you can see upper belt penetrations, 1200 damage right there. So it's definitely possible. I picked a bad ship to try to test this on. But it is working. It is working. And we get very, very fortunate in this match that this guy doesn't finish us off right here, because he got very accurate shells out of that one and manages to leave us with just enough to get away. And the game ends right before this shell from a secondary would have hit me. So I live! Podvoisky, 76,000 damage, Confederate, first blood, devastating strike. No high caliber, though. But top of the leaderboard, 2,637 base XP, one short of a Kraken. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.